Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. We're back today for recovery mode, and for any of you who saw the last one, you'll know this needs to be big. We face AC Milan away from home in the Champions League before TNS are home in the Welsh Prem. But if we don't get a win in one of the next two Champions League matches, we will be out of Europe altogether at the group stages. I don't even know the last time that happened. It's going to be a big day. And Milan and PSG, probably not the two opponents you wanted when you're trying to save your Champions League place, or at least your European place for the year. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on and you are enjoying the series, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily videos from two long-term stories. The other one, the head coach, is up in the eye above. It's been a very big old season this year so far. So do go and check that one out if you haven't already. There's also other playlists and the Twitch channel too. And thank you so much for your incredible support. In terms of Bangor City though, everything else is looking well. It is just about a miracle for us. Of course, we've not got Daniel Anderson today. We've got an injury to Ahmet Bektas. And we just have to find a way. We got the draw at home to Milan a couple of episodes ago. We actually played pretty well. But who thought at that point this was the one that was going to become hard? We actually, for the first time, were excited about our Champions League draw this year. We thought we had third in the bag. And complacency is a horrible disease, as we found out in this group stage. So since you were last with me, we've just had the 4 games off camera. We followed up our bad form against Colwyn Bay as well. We beat them 6-0 in the last episode, but on the road we drew 0-0. A lot of backup players not at their best. A few of the first team stars not at their best either. And unfortunately, that made it 2 games without a win, which almost a crisis at this point for Bangor City. We did bounce back with a 5-0 victory against Swansea Uni though. A Loza hat-trick and McKinnon's brace. He couldn't have come back from injury at a better time, hopefully giving us the springboard and a platform to do better. We nicked a 2-1 win against Celtic Reserves, that in the SPFL Trust Trophy quarters. Walters and an own goal got us back into it there after a Brian Moore penalty early on had put Celtic ahead against the run of play. And then another 5-0 win against the University side. This time Cardiff met Uni, got both names right today. Tom Jones, a Walters hat-trick, back in form after a while without scoring, and Ewan McKinnon wrapping up the victory. So this game today and the PSG one on the final day are just about as big as it comes. Now, I haven't given up all hope. We managed to win away at Leipzig before, one of the last couple of years. We've got that pedigree in us. We've also managed to win at home to Atletico Madrid last year when it was a dead rubber. And if we go and have a look at Group H, PSG have already won the group. So for the last game, if they rest everyone, Mbappe, João Pedro, Greenwood, the likes aren't near the 18, we might have a chance. If they are, we're probably in big trouble. We have to win because we're 2 points behind them. 2 draws not enough because they've got the better head-to-head. And if we beat Milan, the irony of it is, we could yet end up finishing second. If we win our last 2 games, 8 points will be enough. So this is going to be a very strange day. Let's hope we can make it count. Let's go and get into it. There is no point holding it up any longer. There's nothing else to talk about off the pitch that is more important than this. AC Milan at the San Siro, and we have to get a result. PSG have beaten Thun already. That's a good sign for us. They stay on 4 points after 5 games. So we know a win will probably be enough. Let's see if we can get it. We're going to go and make the changes recommended by the assistant. Or are we? Because most of those, probably not in our first 11. This is the team that we've picked. Of course, the difference is Yesten Weaver at left back, not the sort of player we would normally pick. Bektas has just overtaken him. But we haven't got that quality in the squad now to be able to do it with the injuries and all. So that is our first 18. Who can I get on the bench? I'm going to put Malone back in. I'm not sure why he's been taken out. But the rest of the squad, it picks itself. A few with a heavy match load, doesn't matter. They can have a rest in the second game today. This is the one we have to win. It's George Wickens who starts in goal for today's match. McDonald and Weaver the fullbacks with McKenzie and Whittaker at centre-half. Harvey Lloyd's still unhappy in the holding role. We still can't get him a new deal. Only just over 18 months remaining on his current one now. Reyes and Broom in central midfield. Tom Jones as the number 10. McKinnon back from injury, back amongst the goals. He is flying. And we need the wonder kid at his best today. Kane Walters got a hat-trick 2 games ago. That's pretty timely as well. Now let's see if they can do the job today. We've got 36 goals between 2 strikers on the bench. Kyo Bulkley, since the last episode, made his Wales debut and has got 2 caps at the age of 17. We've got 3 super attacking players to choose from if we need cavalry later on. but we've got to still be in the match. So let's see if we can do it. It's AC Milan versus Bangor City. This is absolutely humongous for this football club and this nation. If the result doesn't come in the next 2 games, we're probably going to be set back 3 or 4 years in this series. So let's see if we can avoid it and save our Welsh coefficient. Well, no pressure, but just in case you'd forgotten the magnitude of the task, Nikola Vlasic, Musa Barrow, Dean Henderson in goal, Manuel Locatelli in centre midfield, Jamal Lewis on the bench, Frank Kessie's there. It is a wonderful squad that AC Milan have, and it is littered with talent. PSG's is just as good. They've got one of the best midfielders in the world. It's going to be incredibly difficult, but we'll drop to balanced. We'll do what we normally do on the road, and hopefully we can produce a miracle. A miracle in Italy, very much needed. A league that I've always enjoyed, and hopefully they can pay me back here. The 4-2-4 not filling me with hope though. What we've got to remember about this game, with the position that Milan are in, they're seeing this as their opportunity to wrap second up in the group. As Barrow's in already, it's a good save from Wickens. What we want is them to get that front 4 out, to really push at us. And on the break, we might have a chance. We've got 2 quick strikers who are good finishers. And sometimes that's all you need. As Whittaker heads the corner away, it's not looking good in the first 3 minutes. They've got it on the right-hand side with Haig. Back to Bilardo. He tries to play it through, but fortunately, it doesn't lead to anything. With 10 gone, we're seeing it out at the moment. As Tom Jones has a free kick on the left. Into a dangerous position. Oh, Whittaker's header hits the bar. Drops down for Walters. It's back out to Jones. 1-2 with him in towards Broom. Headed away. It's a wonderful move. And it really needed the goal to go with it. We've had more of the possession. We've had equal amount of chances. But it's still goalless. And at the moment, as brilliant a result as it would be, it's just not enough. We've blown it against the Swiss side. And now we've set ourselves the impossible task. Oh no. We're going to VAR. There's no way it's not going to be given. It looked clumsy. It looked to push. It looked to lunge into the back. And it looked in the area. So I can't see any world in which a penalty isn't given here. George Wickens, currently our best rated player on the pitch. And he's going to need more heroics in a second, because there is no way that that wasn't going to be given. And VAR has now confirmed it. Who takes the penalty kick? Right-footed. Musa Barrow. Wickens! Oh no! Got a strong hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. I say he nearly took the net off with that. It didn't look that powerful. But we have to give Wickens the benefit of the doubt. He got a very strong hand to it. Cavani's header's off the line by McDonald. I don't want us to collapse now. Can we get one on the break? As Harvey Lloyd comes forward. 2 with him. He's got to go forward. He goes back to McDonald. And now the pressure's gone for AC Milan. They've got men behind the ball. And it's going to remain 1-0 as they've got another throw on the right. Such a silly goal to give away as well. It's so frustrating. Rotter on the left, cleared by Tom Jones. Up to Kane Walters. He's got the wonder kid McKinnon with him. Tries to go alone. He's beaten the whole team. Walters in. But he just didn't have the legs to keep it up. And in the end, he went from a bit longer distance than he would have liked to. And he drags it wide of the post. Still 1-0 to AC Milan. It's been a really good performance. But to be honest, the damage was done in an earlier game, not this one. As Bilardo comes down the right-hand side again. Chance to cross, a good block from Reyes. In the second time to Locatelli. And it's straight into the back of the net. It was a bit too easy. The man we've managed before at Real Madrid in the head coach this year. And of course part of that Italy side in Euro 2020. And you have to say, this game's gone now. And as is our hopes probably. If we can't beat PSG, probably the best side in the world on paper, we're in trouble. As Kane Walters gets in behind. Great first touch. Great chance. Hit the post again. We've hit the woodwork twice in this game. I know we haven't had a shot on target, but more possession. 2 shots against the woodwork. We've given as good as we've got. We've just not been able to hold them off defensively. And that, unfortunately, is going to be costly. Nothing will ever overturn that silly defeat at home to the Swiss side. But we're putting up a fight against AC Milan. But it's not enough. We need more. 63 minutes on the clock. We've got a corner kick with Harvey Lloyd. In swinging delivery. Doesn't even beat the first man. What an opportunity that was to get one back as well. And now it's a 2-on-2 on the counter where we've had to commit men. The usual trick for Football Manager. All the defenders run away. Go on your own. We don't want a challenger. Rota in. Rota scores. 3-0 AC Milan. We might as well start resting people for the weekends. I mean, Harvey Lloyd is anxious. We might as well take him off. John Price on for him. Weaver at left back, we haven't got a replacement. I mean, we could bring Morgan on, but I'd rather save it for the weekend than Bektas. McKinnon back from injury, not been great. Loza on for him. and then Ruben Reyes can be replaced by Kyle Bulkley. What a shame, because at times we've matched AC Milan in this game, but we've not got the same quality, we've not got the same defensive prowess, and we've not taken our chances. And as a result, because of this fixture and the performance in the last one against Swiss opposition, we're going out of the Champions League and Europe altogether at the group stages for the first time in years. Now we've got to avoid embarrassment, because that was a very clear effort from Canas. Albeit you wouldn't expect a goal from that range. He was given plenty of time and he hit it sweetly. Thankfully for us though, it was wide of the post. There's a throw in on the left hand side for Yesten Weaver. Gives it to Kyle Bulkley, the youngster. Out to Weaver again. Through Walter Walters. Be nice to get him a goal. Kane Walters does get one. We narrow the goal difference. We get a goal in Europe. That's brilliant to see. And hopefully it gives us a little bit of confidence. Our home to PSG, we need them to rest everyone. Just please, PSG. You're through. You've won the group. Rest everybody. Focus on the league and let us get through to the Europa League last 32. A good performance, a poor result for Bangor City. We'll be back in a moment to face TNS. But the miracle, unfortunately, didn't come tonight. Well, we're back to face TNS on the Saturday. And oddly, TNS is not the main talking point. Takeover rumours yet again. I mean, I know we had the crazy owner for a few years, but we've had another two since then. Why is it happening so many times? I mean, this is a pretty attractive club that's making a lot of money. Let's have a look at the club vision. I'm just trying to work out why he's moving on so quickly. So he's not even saying he's happy there. There are rumours that there's a potential investor coming in. Maybe it'll be a tycoon and we can really go for it with Welsh football. Though I'd probably at this point rather the tycoon comes in at another club. Because that's really where we're going to get the challenge in this save. So we're not going to worry about that too much for now. It's going to be a very difficult winter because we know we're not going to have European football after Christmas. And to give you a little bit of perspective very quickly, you might wonder why I'm so worried about it if you just follow this series casually. If we go and have a look at the coefficients for the nation, this is where Wales are at the moment. So we have been moving forward every year and our worst 3 years are about to come off. You can see our last 4 years of coefficient, 5.3 and 6.3. Real steps up on the nations just above us and a chance for us to grow and overtake them. However, the problem we have at the moment is that because this year is due to be our worst in ages, I mean, if we have a look at Wales here in 18th, that's 4.25. And a part of that is due to TNS reaching the playoff in the Europa Conference. We're not actually due to go up much. So we're going to stay level with the Czech Republic. We're going to go ahead of Kazakhstan, but then we'll be stuck in 17th. If we'd have got through from these groups, and we're basing that on the sides below us not getting through, not being able to improve further, if the Czech Republic have got a side that get through and do well in one of the other competitions, we're behind them. And we don't actually go up this year. We could have overtaken Denmark though. We could have been close to Ukraine. And we really had a chance to progress here. So I'm so disappointed that we've blown it at this opportunity. Very interesting to see actually, like the head coach, Italy above France and Germany. France above Germany as well. That top 5 leagues has taken the same pattern. But yeah, that's why I'm frustrated, because it was a chance for us. And when we get to 16th place and when we then get to 15th place, the implications are, A, we get into the next round of qualifying for the Champions League automatically, but more importantly at 15th place, the second team, the runners-up, get into the Champions League qualifying, the third place team get into the Europa League qualifying third round, and then 2 more teams in the conference. So an extra place overall. This team that come in the League Path second qualifying round only have to win 1 fixture out of 3 to get into the Europa Conference groups. The Europa League team only have to win 1 fixture to get into the Europa Conference groups. And it just gives us a real opportunity to have 3 teams in European group stages. And purely due to arrogance, in what was possibly the friendliest Champions League group we've had so far, we've managed to throw that away and delay it by a few years. I'm so furious. But we can't worry about that for now. We've got to stay on top of the domestic game. And we start that against TNS. There's 4 other fixtures taking place. It looks very much like the top 4 going into Europe this year are going to be the best 4 clubs. So Colwyn Bay, TNS and Barrytown United join in. And then once we get to that stage where 5 clubs are in, a 5th one can start to make things happen too. But for now, we need the strongest teams every year. And that looks like happening again. Kai McDonald is back fit again, but we are going to have to rest a few here. Because if we go and have a look at the schedule very quickly, we've got a Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, and then PSG on the Wednesday. Harvey Lloyd is suspended for that. So aside from him, we've got to go basically reserves first team, reserves first team. And for today's game, that makes this a little bit more difficult. So let's go and get into the team selection. I'll redo this. You can see all the heavy match loads. We'll be back in a moment to run through the team. Well, full rotation to face TNS. Unfortunately, we've got to keep people fit for the bigger games, and we know we're going to win the Welsh Prem. So this is no longer one of our top priorities. We've got David Robson in goal, Gwyn Morgan and Ahmet Bektas the wing-backs, Kelly alongside Pasiarek at centre-half. Kelly very much close to now taking over as a starting centre-back as well. He's probably the best at the club. In midfield is John Price, Patrick Malone, Daniel Anderson and Kyo Bulkley. Again, Bulkley close to overtaking Tom Jones. John Price, of course, going to be relied upon in the last Champions League match. And then Loza and Rosario up front. Probably the best backup strike force that Welsh football has ever seen. But let's see if it can do the business today. Youngsters, a bit of dotted experience, but mainly backup players and fringe players on the bench. So hopefully, they won't be required to change the game. Let's go and find out if we can recover in our domestic match. Well, stronger side by the year for TNS. Of course, they've still got a couple of loan players from us that they're not able to use. The likes of Warren Belt and Kian Burgess, the fullback. Wilf Tinkler on the bench has scored goals galore for them this season. Not sure why he can't get in the team. But the ones who are starting are significantly better. Having said that, we should still be better because our backup team is by far the best it's ever been. The problem is, we're just not quite consistent and bedded in yet. We've had a little bit more change than in previous years. Whether that be youngsters coming through, players that were already in the squad changing roles. So like most of last year, Morgan was the backup left back, Price was a centre half, Malone was playing at right back and then holding midfield as a backup, and Bulkley was playing in centre mid. They're all playing in different positions now. So it does make it a little harder as Anderson releases Loza, lovely chip over the keeper and in off the roof of the net. Kresimir Loza, 24 for the season and 1-0 Bangor City. It softens the blow very, very slightly, but we know this isn't what matters. In the biggest game of the season, we bottled it. And now, this can only be a temporary reprieve for us emotionally. As TNS have got a corner on the left, it might not even be that. Into the front post to Norman. It's 1-1 here as well. Oh my words. We are showing some real signs of fragility this year. The 0-0 against Colwyn Bay, we had loads of shots, but no real good efforts. And here, I mean, even in the League Cup game, we beat TNS 4-2. We looked like conceding 4 or 5 times. And the same has happened on this occasion as well. It's been quite a disappointing display, and at half-time, we're going to dig into these lads. Because they're actually only 1 shot behind us on the count. The possession's near enough level, and these lads need a real talking to. So we're going to tell them to prove a point. We're going to point the finger. We don't do that often. And most of them haven't even reacted. What a worrying sign. There's something a little fishy going on at this club at the moment. We might need to try a few bits of magic off the pitch. Maybe some new contracts. Maybe some dynamics, some chats, some mentoring groups. Maybe some changes to the coaching team just to freshen the voices up. There's something needed at the moment. Because although we're still ticking along domestically, we're doing fine. We're not quite the Bangor City we've been used to seeing the last 3 or 4 years. As Kyo Bulkley's got a free kick on the left, or a corner kick, sorry. In-swingers headed away as far as Dennis, but thankfully we don't see the counter. Of course, the other thing we've got to bear in mind as Loza gets in, Pasiarek on the rebound blocked, is we have got a lot more fixture congestion than previous years. We're at the stage now where 10 to 12 players are going away on internationals. In one game, we actually had 18 away at one point over the last one in November. And that really isn't sustainable for us. We've got a fixture backlog, even now of 3 or 4 league games. And that is becoming a bit telling later on in the season as well. Because we're already getting to the stage where we've got fixture congestion. And we're not playing our best in some of these matches. You can see the backup team against TNS. There's not a huge amount in it. As Dennis gets it on the right again. Dorian can cross, set up the first goal. Norman's in again. And we are now behind. Get the alarm bells ringing. Get the alarm bells absolutely ringing off the hook, because we are in big, big trouble. John Price is booked. He's coming off for Harvey Lloyd. Kai McDonald is coming on. I don't know who for. Bektas is nervous. It's going to have to be him. Morgan to left back, Kai McDonald on the right. And Tom Jones will come on for Patrick Malone. I can only see him being the option. Kyo Bulkley into centre mid. Tom Jones into attacking mid. I think that's how we're going to leave it for now, because I don't actually know which one's best in which role of those two. But there are alarm bells ringing very, very loudly in my ear. A quarter of the game to go. Bangor City 1, TNS 2. This is starting to become a really tricky couple of months. We're going to demand more. We're going to go attacking. And we're going to close down Jonathan Norman. But I think it's all too little too late. TNS are going to win this match, you know. We're going to lose the invincible record. And more importantly, we're going to be in a bit of trouble in multiple competitions. TNS have won by 2-1. It is the second Welsh Premier League fixture we have not won in a space of just a month or so. And after crashing out of Europe altogether, the last thing we want is a hint of squeaky bum time in the Welsh Premier League. This is not the episode we had on the cards, and this so far is not the season we were expecting. It could be catastrophic in terms of implications. Now, in terms of the title, I'm not yet worried at all, because there are a lot of games to go and a lot of games in hand. However, after 51 games undefeated, we've lost. After 5 or 6 successive years with European knockout football, we're out of the group stages. And we've got fitness concerns, we've got players that keep going on international duty that are unfit, and we've not really got that squad dynamic we're used to having. A real worry for us as a club, and a lot of work to do over the winter period. I don't think I'm even going to bother showing the PSG game, because I think we all know what the outcome is. And I don't really want to get into this habit of coming back every 2 or 3 games. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come back at some point during the January transfer window, because I think there is going to be a little bit of action in that. Whether it's loan players coming back, players coming in or out of the club, and a youth intake preview too. We need something to lift our spirits at the moment. So if you did enjoy those 2 shock results, particularly the second one at home to TNS, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments, why do you not think it's plain sailing? We've won less than half of our games this month. We've drawn against Colwyn Bay, we've lost against TNS, we've lost against Thun. 3 games we would expect to win in a normal season. And there are some real concerns starting to creep in. A lot of work to be done. Let me know what you think we should do in a January transfer window. I'm thinking maybe a centre midfielder to replace Anderson as a backup. I'm thinking perhaps even another defensive player. Or even just giving Kelly the start normally. Though he didn't look particularly good there, did he? If you want to stay up to date and find out if we can recover this situation, I mean, both saves not going particularly well at the moment, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You can catch up with all the playlists in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel for regular live streams. It really would mean a lot if you can follow us over there. But this is not a situation we expected this season, and there's now a lot of work to be done. I'll see you next time to find out if we can do any better. Thank you for watching as always.